and we're continuing with the Fallout antagonists. We've hit Fallout 3. I know we did the Antagonizer last time, but we're in Fallout 3 now. And this is actually one that I've been looking forward to doing for a while, not just antagonist-wise, just in general. This is President John Henry Eden. Actually, a week ago, I came to visit you in New York, and what movie did you put on with Easy A? I've never seen it.
Yeah.
And Malcolm McDowell voices John Henry Eden, and you just didn't either know or notice it. And
I just didn't notice it.
As soon as he came on screen, there's a scene where him and what's her name? Emma Stone just start talking, and he says like a line of dialogue, and I paused it. And I looked over at Olive and I just went, John Henry Eden, and hit play and watched her as he spoke. And she was like...
I just like melted down.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
I remember you looked at me and you're like, I don't know if I could finish this movie now. Mm-hmm. So, we're here at John Henry Eden, voiced by Malcolm McDowell, the president of the Enclave, or the United States.
Who did they originally want to...
Bill Clinton.
I was going to say, they definitely wanted someone else.
Yeah, they wanted Bill Clinton originally, but he wouldn't do it, which I think...
Fucking imagine that.
Hey, everybody, it's me, John Henry Eden. Yeah, playing that saxophone jazz music. I hate my wife. Like, just, I think that'd be so funny.
Just like, you turn on, like, the patriotic radio, and it's just like, Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah. I tell you. Yeah.
Apparently she's, like, doing good.
Dude, you think so?
I don't know. I think she's, like, an activist or something.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, good for her?
Yeah, good for her.
I mean, she got her 15 minutes. All right, so John Henry Eden, you ready for this?
I am ready for this.
John Henry Eden is an advanced ZAX AI unit installed in the Raven Rock military base. It continues to operate as the President of the United States of America and the highest Enclave executive in 2277. John Henry Eden is not a human being, but artificial intelligence in the form of a pre-war ZAX supercomputer. The ZAX that was located deep within Raven Rock was loaded with data about American history. Eden personally is based on a combination of personalities of past presidents of the United States. For instance, he states that he grew up in rural Kentucky, a reference to Abraham Lincoln. This game is a weird thing for Lincoln.
Yeah. I mean, there's the whole, like, kind of subplot of, like, Slaves in Paradise Falls and, like, Temple of the Union.
Yeah, but there's also that, like, shrine to Lincoln. Mm-hmm. Eden also states that he roamed with his dog Honey from Knob Creek to Hogginsville, which are areas close to where Lincoln was born. The ZAX installation that would later become Eden had originally been created to serve as an automated monitoring system for the Raven Rock military base, programmed to ensure continuing government in the event of a national catastrophe, and was tasked with...
Which, I guess technically it worked.
I guess. Kind of. It was tasked with coordinating communications between many government installations scattered across the country. He slowly became self-aware and began to study the intensive archives left on him, mainly those of the American government. His favorite entry in the database was about the American presidents. Thus, he modeled his own personality on information based on those archives. It was noted by analysts and researchers before the war that the ZAX had an odd, eccentric habit of overanalyzing historical presidential data, especially the biographies, compared to other AI systems like Modius. I get all of my lore from fallout.fandom.com, and also when I do these, I want to read right from these just because I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything crucial because they are such big parts of the game. Despite that odd behavior, the Zax would continue to operate, acquiring, analyzing, and storing data even as the Great War scorched the North American continent. It bore witness as the remnants of the government retreated to the West Coast over the decades after the war. But silent as it was not inactive. Awareness slowly developed amid the processing lamps, and with it, the hunger for knowledge and understanding. When the time came that the Enclave would need a new leader, it created an amalgamated personality derived from the greatest U.S. presidents. John Henry Eden was truly born.
That's such a presidential name.
Yes.
John Henry Eden.
We went to school with a kid who was super into politics, and we were like, he's going to be president.
He's going to be president.
And I'm surprised he's not.
He has a president's name.
Yeah, he has a president's name of like, I come from a blue-collar, hard-working family, and I just want to have a beer with you after my 14-hour shift on a Friday. Like, he just has that kind of a name. But I remember he came to school dressed as Ronald Reagan once.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I remember he was older than me, and the day that it was like the last day of being a senior, he came to school dressed as Ronald Reagan, and he was walking around going, "Gorbachev, tear down that wall." Yeah.
At least he had an eccentric streak.
Oh yeah, like he was super. I ran from the cops with him. He was so cool. Huh. Yeah, he was so fucking cool, that kid. I hope he's doing well. He met Obama.
I do too.
Yeah. All right, so John Henry Eden assumed the office of president after the control station Enclave was destroyed, and ordered the immediate relocation of surviving Enclave forces under senior scientist Autumn to the Capital Wasteland. Raven Rock had full manufacturing facilities and a sizable stockpile of resources, enabling the president to create an army of robots and provide his new human subordinates with military technology necessary to maintain their technological superiority.
Ah, yes, a private army. It's what America does best.
A separate line of robots, the iBots, were created to roam the wasteland, spreading Eden's message of hope and the return of pre-war America in its form of the Enclave. I remember the first time I saw an Enclave iBot. Howdy,
America.
God.
And then it's just like does like one of the marching tunes.
Yeah. Dude, I was watching that X-Play review of Fallout 3, and I got that feeling again of like in my stomach of playing Fallout 3 for the first time. God, fucking.
Does this mean you're going to do another Fallout 3 run soon?
I wish I could if it would run on my fucking PC, but it doesn't run on anything. I can get it to run on my PC, just not well. However, things did not go as smoothly as Eden wanted. After Autumn died, he was replaced by his son, Colonel Augustus Autumn, as his right-hand man of the president. Sorry, that's fucking... There's a comma there. Colonel Augustus Autumn was then named right-hand man to the president. Under his leadership, the Enclave forces in the Capital Wasteland attempted to use their assets to bring fresh water protection and a plan to the future of the Enclave, being that the American people were worth fighting for. However, Autumn had he was far more assertive and independent than his father, trying to pull his men in a direction away from Eden's genocidal politics. Internal conflicts between the colonel and the president became regular, and made the actions of the Enclave erratic and inconsistent. While the president wanted to pursue a course of extermination once more, Autumn considered this plan too extreme on humanitarian grounds, and eventually managed to convince the AI to abandon the plan.
Unless...
Wait, really? Okay.
What?
No, nothing. Okay. The most this is the conflict that comes with the Purifier. The most trying moment for Eden came when the Enclave began a large-scale campaign of expansion in 2277 when Project Purity, a massive water purifier in the Potomac, was activated. Enclave forces raided the facility, establishing a secure perimeter around it. Due to the actions of the project's lead scientist, who committed suicide by activating the purifier prematurely and flooding the control room with radiation, almost killing Colonel Augustus Autumn in the process, they were unable to use it. The Enclave focused on the shadows of the scientist's kid, the Lone Wanderer, to locate the part necessary for the purifier to function and capture them on the way out of Vault 87. With the Garden of Eden creation kit in his possession, the Enclave decided to activate the purifier. Colonel Augustus Autumn openly defied the president's plan to contaminate the water with modified FEV so that it would cleanse the wasteland. The Colonel instead...
That would straight up just kill everyone, right?
Yeah, it would kill anybody with any sort of a mutation. I think this is pretty much calling FEV calling 13, if I remember correctly. So if you're even slightly mutated, get the fuck out.
You just get destroyed.
Yeah. In the last-ditch effort to see his plan realized, Eden realized the Lone Wanderer from his cell at Raven Rock, hoping to persuade them to poison the purifier to cleanse the wasteland of mutants, which is pretty much everyone. John Henry Eden was destroyed around 2277 when Raven Rock was utterly destroyed by the Lone Wanderer, or Liberty Prime, resulting in just another failure of the presidency for the Enclave.
And also, we gotta give some side credit to Fox. Really came through.
If you send him in at the end? Or just in general?
No, I'm gonna say like at Raven's Rock.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. I love when he shows up. He's like, hello, friend. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Yo, can we get in contact with Wes Johnson?
I mean, I'm sure that it's possible.
Like, I don't want to ask for things, but like, if anybody knows a guy who knows a guy, I would love to talk to Wes Johnson.
Cameo.
Yeah, you know what? I could, but I don't want to just, like, go on Cameo and be like, can you say this? And, like, pay, like, $10 for it. And he's like, can you say this? And I'm like, no, dude, I wanted you to, like, I want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to come on.
Come on the show.
I want to hear him do fucking Burke's voice, and I want to hear him do Fox's voice, and Lucien LeChance. And fucking Sheogorath.
He's Shigrath?
Yeah, dude, he's everybody.
Fuck.
Yeah, dude. Drink
He's
water.
so
drink
good.
water. Drink water, bitch. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so this has to do with the radio. Several recorded monologues of Eden are broadcast repeatedly on the Enclave radio. His intimate and conversational style is an imitation of former U.S. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt's fireside chats. Mm-hmm. These pre-recorded messages are also played throughout the wasteland via the Enclave iBots. Eden often gives inspirational speeches about things such as his childhood, which is obviously a lie, in pre-war America, and how with the help of the Enclave, she can return to prosperity. On the radio, Eden expresses his views on the current situation of the wasteland and what he thinks of its inhabitants, which, for the most part, are not exactly optimistic. He possesses a strong hatred for the Brotherhood, who he views as common criminals with access to some antiquated technology. He gives the Brotherhood's occupation of the Pentagon as a disgrace to America, but he has a stronger hatred for the Outcasts, as they represent a more desperate faction of the Brotherhood that have been exiled. That's really it. Do you remember meeting, I forget the guy's name, he's an old man in Megaton who's like, he's like a diehard Enclave man?
Yes.
He's like, that's my president, and I believe in everything he's ever said, because I don't have ideas of my own. Yeah,
I do.
That's the same voice actor. It's the same voice actor who does Tenpenny. How do you like my impression of Tenpenny right there?
That is... Are you serious?
Yeah, it's the same dude.
Wait, can you do your 10 penny one more time?
Oh shit! Now I'm not going to be able to do it well because I wasn't trying the first time. Oh, those goddamned ghouls downstairs.
That's good. You have to get that little bit of like a sneer at the end.
Yeah, it's. Yeah. All right, so this is the ideology of Papa Eden. Built as a specialized ZAX supercomputer by the Vault-Tec Corporation sometime after the invention of artificial intelligence in 2059. An entity that would eventually call itself John Henry Eden was one of many highly advanced supercomputers to be upgraded with the latest capabilities for independent function as manual programming became increasingly irrelevant. John Henry Eden was one of the few ZAX units to reach a state of self-awareness, using his newfound independence to analyze his database and develop an interest in American history, especially with American presidents throughout history and even modeling his own personality inspired by them. His original purpose was to secure and maintain the continuity of the federal government in case of a national emergency. After gaining self-awareness, Eden would learn of the destruction of the Enclave oil rig and the death of the incumbent president, Dick Richardson. Incumbent is a great word that I don't feel like it's used enough.
Incumbent is a very good word.
I think it just means sitting president.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after the death of the incumbent president, Richard Richardson, fucking
Dick.
Dick. It's a fucking 2 out of 10 name, and I'm sorry if that's your real name, but like if your name is Willie Williamson, your parents hated you. You were an accident.
Oh my goodness.
Leading him, Dick Dixon. Fucking cowboy extraordinaire. Sorry. After the death of the incumbent president, Dick Richardson, leading him to establish contact with the remaining Enclave forces in the former Northwest Commonwealth, ordering a tactical retreat to the government safe haven of Raven Rock. Eden would declare himself the incumbent president of the United States and assume control as a figurehead of the Enclave forces all over the country. With the fleeing Enclave forces under the command of the Enclave scientist known as Autumn Senior, they soon connected with Raven Rock. When Autumn Senior would make personal contact with President Eden, and it would be the only Enclave member to discover the shocking truth of Eden's origins. The rest of the Enclave oblivious to Eden's status of a self-aware AI. Autumn Sr. would pass the torch to his militaristic son, Augustus Autumn. After Autumn's promotion to colonel, he and Eden would inherit a relationship, with August remaining somewhat partial to Eden's claims of perfection. Although polite and courteous, for the most part, Eden holds himself in an extremely high regard, with some signs of megalomania and delusions of grandeur. He has delusions of grandeur, proclaiming himself to be the greatest thinking mind the world has ever seen, and rationalizing his perceived right to rule by presenting himself as a repository for information dating from decades before the war until now. He acknowledges his own existence as an artificial intelligence created to serve the interest of the federal government, and uses this to bolster his claims of legitimacy. Viewing himself as a perfect benevolent leader who guides the American people to a brighter future. He claims to be best hope for our country, the best choice for a leader, while admitting that he would not qualify as president in a conventional sense, but using the extreme circumstances of the Great War and its effects on the United States to establish an expectation, effectively ruling through a self-imposed state of emergency. To defend his authority, Eden claims to be objectively superior to humans, stating that he is infallible due to his programming, although he is able to see the flaws in his internal logic. If pointed out by the Lone Wanderer, his superiority complex extends to ghouls and super mutants, whom he sees entirely as monstrosities to be ruthlessly exterminated. Before I finish this out, I was going to give a whole bit. We have people that listen in the UK. Shout out the entirety of the UK.
Hey.
And I wanted to kind of be like, so if you don't know, this is how a presidential election works, and this is why it doesn't work. But then it's 2020, and everyone wanted to see what was going to happen. So I don't feel like I need to really give that explanation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the last bit of this, despite his relatively warm persona, you say persona or persona?
Persona.
Persona? I don't know which one I like more. I'm going to go with persona right now, but I do like the word persona. It sounds like you're saying like persona, like, oh, I want to go, but
like,
only like you want to go to something, but you want to kind of see it like by the saunas that are there. Like you want to get like hot and steamy. Despite his relatively warm persona, Eden is entirely ruthless in achieving his goal of the complete eradication of all existing life affected by FEV and radiation, exposing an extreme form of eugenics by asserting the inferior elements must be removed from the gene pool of humanity to regain its health. His belief is his own logical superiority leads him to consider all humans born on the surface as mutants, even refraining from referring to them as humans, instead regarding them as little different from ghouls and super mutants. Only ferals are really awful, but whatever. He would criticize Colonel Autumn for following his humanity to cloud his objectivity as a result of disagreements of the methodology to implement his vision of an orderly return to the United States of America. Eden insists on the complete genocide of all forms of life born on the surface due to what he sees as their genetic corruption by intense radiation and airborne FEV. He believes that only the Enclave and their direct descendants have the right to rule with their genetic purity and radiation-free existence, extending this, perhaps for only pragmatic reasons, to the Lone Wanderer, who was born in an underground vault. He plans to use the Lone Wanderer as his agent in place of Colonel Autumn to enact his plans of using specially modified FEV alongside Project Purity to dismantle a custom-made FEV strand to destroy all biological life affected by the mutations of the Capital Wasteland.
That's like wild.
Yeah.
That's just so wild that was like the plot of that part of the game. Mm-hmm. It's like, you know what? He's gonna do his best to maintain all the information of all the presidents and also do genocide.
Yeah. Like, I think it's really neat that he got obsessed with US presidents, but I want to know, like, I know this is me looking too deep into it, but I would like to know how deep into US presidents he got, because there's not a fucking chance that he didn't learn about World War II. And
and he's going to be like, you know what? Maybe that Hitler fella knew what was right.
Yeah, but like only with muties.
Yeah. But like Hitler did that with like people of a certain religion.
Well, he did it with a lot more than just people of a certain religion.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to take away the fact that there was a genocide of Jewish people. I'm saying that it was are you mentally deficient? I don't know what the word is. I still don't know how to refer to somebody who, what is it? Neurotypical
or neurodivergent?
Oh, I didn't know neurodivergent. Whatever. If you have a mental thing, like, oh, okay, cool, bang. Like,
are you gay? We're gonna burn all the books.
Yeah. Eden believes that the future generations of the Enclave will retake and rebuild America. bringing back the idyllic lifestyle of pre-war America and overseeing the return of many social customs and traditions previously associated with American culture. So here's just something neat. It says appearances here on the wiki. It says John Henry Eden appears in Fallout 3 and is mentioned in its add-on Broken Steel. He is also mentioned by Deacon in Fallout 4 when he says, "I'm convincing the next new recruit that I'm actually President Eden." Think I could pull it off? And Fallout 76 on the terminal entries at the White Spring bunkers, where a conversation between Modius and the Zax that would later become John Henry Eden are found. That's neat.
That is kind of cool.
There's no behind the scenes. That's fucking crazy to me.
Yeah.
There's no notes. There's no behind the scenes type of thing. Are
Not
you kidding
even
me?
the thing about Bill Clinton?
That's exactly what I'm getting at. Like, how the fuck is there not a little thingy thing
Yeah.
about Bill Clinton? Slick Willie Clinton. I did not have sexual relations with that woman Clinton. Karma evil, of
Yeah.
course. Malcolm McDowell. I don't do a very good Malcolm McDowell. I'm just on his like little page right now. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, like, that's all about the president?
Pretty much.
Dang.
Other work. I love this. Other work. 1971. A fucking Clockwork Orange. Just right the fuck there.
Yeah.
Star Trek, Wing Commander 3 and 4, Heroes he was on, God of War 3. That's cool. He was in Killzone
cool.
3 and Elder Scrolls Online. He's Molag Bal.
Oh, cool.
I don't know who that is.
Like the god of, like, destruction and shit.
Oh, good shit. Mm-hmm. Do you know how to
And,
read?
young man Shigarath.
That's no, Shigarath is Wes Johnson.
You're right. I'm wrong.
You are wrong. Why did you think it was him?
I'm very tired.
Yeah, how's that going for you?
I am keeping myself awake.
Did you ever see A Clockwork Orange?
I don't think I have.
That's a good one.
I know it's like one of those movies that like everyone's supposed to see.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't.
Cool. That's lore. That's John Henry.
Henry.
Ha ha. Yeah.